Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the full shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Linda Baas McClelland.
And it's movie time.
It's movie time, indeed.
And it's time for a female hero in the Marvel Universe.
Yep.
And we have it with Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson.
Indeed.
I'm not going to ask you to summarize even the first part of that film because I think it's a mess.
Oh, I'm so happy you agreed with me because I did too. We were just attacked by CGI mayhem and loud explosions and it went on forever.
Well, it's an origin story for Captain Marvel, and that's always a challenge.
Right.
And since they have her, Carol Danvers, or Vers, as she is an operative for the Kree civilization. It's confusing, I think. Because
thank you. I thought it was me. I really did.
Well, crucial element is that has amnesia.
Right.
So she can't help us.
Yeah.
In defining who she is.
Exactly.
And so it's a constant exploration. And I think it's just
right. That is. But I have to say, going into the film, it had all my favorite actors in it.
Oh. Yeah.
Brie Larson, Annette Bening. Jude Law,
yes.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
I love all these people. And I had no idea that Goose the cat would steal the show from everybody. Meow.
In another superhero film, it would be Groot, which is the cat. Yeah, right.
It's Goose.
It's Goose now.
Goose
and that's a very sharp addition because it does warm up that audience.
Oh, it did. It gave humor. It just warmed it up, and the audience loved it. So.
Yes. You mentioned the CGI, which is, of course, always paramount in these
movies.
Right,
exactly.
I just want to ask you, what about Samuel L. Jackson?
I wanted his part to be a little bit bigger. That was one of my other criticisms of the film, is that I just thought there was so little character development.
Well, he's Nick Fury.
Yes.
And you'll see him again and again in the Marvel because he's kind of the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's the group of superheroes.
Right, right.
Now, you mentioned CGI. What about him in CGI?
What, the way they made him look 30 years younger
yes.
or whatever?
De-aged him.
Yeah.
I thought it was spectacular.
It was wonderful.
Believe how well they did.
Right. I think they can do anything with CGI now. But
the challenge of that was that Clark Gregg, who plays the assistant, was back, and he was de-aged, and it didn't go very well enough with him, but it did with Samuel Jackson. It was just
I really
perfect.
like him.
Yeah,
I wish he'd had a bigger role to play in the movie, but.
Well, talk to me about Brie Larson. Of course, I have an affection for her after The Room, where she won the Oscar.
She did, and she has been one of my favorites because of that. And so that's why I was a little disappointed. But her character just wasn't developed. It was so one-dimensional, and she has no weaknesses. I mean, even Superman is, has to be afraid of kryptonite, and Batman, he's a human being, but she had nothing to be afraid of, and her face for me had very little expression.
Sure.
And so the storyline for me was pretty weak.
Well, and I agree that there's something a little bit flat about her performance.
Flat, yes.
Everybody around her is pretty having fun. Even Jude Law is having fun being that charismatic leader of the Krees, and Jackson always has a good time with his roles. I also think there was some complication because she is told several times that she can't let her emotions take over. And I think that remember, he, particularly the Law character, tells her she can't let her, which I think is a slam against women, of course, and since it can't help but being a feminist approach.
Well, I mean, I think her whole goal in taking this role, and in real life, is to be the champion of women, to show that they can be just as strong, just as smart as men. And so consequently, she just closed down her face, and so she didn't show any emotion at all.
Right.
But for me, that just made the character so flat.
Yes, and that's a good point. She doesn't fulfill the expectation that more than one character gives about her showing too much emotion.
Right.
Because you're mentioning her vulnerability.
Yeah.
Apparently they were trying to establish that as her vulnerability, and it didn't work.
No.
Or she really took it to heart,
right.
and decided that she was just going to be flat affect on it all.
Just one-dimensional.
Yeah.
So that was a disappointment for me. So I'm glad that Goose showed up.
Well, Lindy, this is really the first time you've seen a superhero film.
Yes, and sitting there in the beginning when I was just slam dunked by all this noise and everything, I thought, well, this is because I'm unfamiliar with this type of film. Marvel, of course, is hoping this is going to be a huge blockbuster. So I thought it was me. I really did. I thought it was me. I said, just give the story time to develop. And it did when she crash landed back on Earth.
Right.
With Annette Bening. And so when she is reunited with her friend, what was her name?
Yeah.
Maria Rambeau, who then she remembers or finds out that Maria had been a fellow Air Force pilot with her in her life as a human being. And it warmed up a little bit, but not as much as it could.
And I think it missed, too, not having more of Annette Bening, who plays Supreme Intelligence.
Yes.
She's really an AI. She's not a real person, but boy, Bening can really
She's dynamite.
Play the charismatic older woman, advising the younger woman.
Yeah.
I thought that had worked out very well.
She should have advised Bree how to act a little bit more like her real character. I don't know, but forget that.
So I'm trying to get a sense from you how you are reacting to this as a genre, as a type.
Obviously it's not my favorite kind of movie, but I love Superman. I love Batman movies. Again, because they had more depth, there was a stronger storyline. The characters themselves were vulnerable at times. They seemed more like real people that had these superpowers.
Right.
So I thoroughly enjoyed those movies. But this one was just so overpowered by the CGI.
The Marvel people aren't going to be happy with you.
I know they're not.
You just gave a great endorsement for DC Comics.
I know.
You're slamming Marvel.
I'm not slamming. I just, maybe it's me. Maybe
no,
it's me.
No. And one of my great objections to all of this is my kapow objection, which is kapow.
Kapow.
Punch this, punch that.
Oh, golly.
So much fighting.
Right,
and
so much fighting.
Actually, I felt there was less in this than I'm used to. But it's still too much for me.
Right.
And I would much rather have more characterization.
Oh, see, I thought that was me, so I feel very glad that you are agreeing with me. I really am. I'm thrilled. Because for that reason, I was disappointed. I was expecting big things from this movie.
Okay. All right. So maybe we'll get you to see Thor.
Okay.
Or we'll get you to see one with, or any of the other great Marvel heroes, or Hulk.
Right. I like the Hulk movies. Yeah. And then I was thinking, wasn't Brie Larson in Skull Island with Samuel L. Jackson? I love that movie. I know it's not a superhero movie. Well, it kind of is, but. So I was expecting something like that, but I was disappointed.
Well, Linda Baas McClelland, the movie is Captain Marvel.
Yes, Captain Marvel, yes.
What grade would you award it?
I have to give it a C. Again, it's just because it disappointed me in many ways.
And I'm going to award it a C+, because it's just a tad better than average.
Okay.
And because I really have great hopes for Brie Larson as when she joins the Avengers, coming up pretty soon.
Right.
She'll be with the other charismatic types, and I think that may do something different for her. And anyway, we'll see. But I think this is not the last time we'll see Brie Larson as Captain Marvel.
I don't think so. From now on, I'm going to call you Captain Marvelous.
That's good. That's a winner.